Thank you for holding. We had technical difficulties. My name is Kirk Aidoo, Field Development Executive from Conquer Entertainment. And the purpose, what's your name?
Jorgen.
Jorgen Bailey. He's the man. And he'll speak in just a moment. The purpose of this presentation is to really get everyone on the same page as to what we're up to, what we're doing. By a show of hands, there wasn't too much engagement or as much engagement as we'd like to see on the site, but we're here to let you know that it is relevant, no matter what department that you're in, and we're going to get to that. But the sum gist of things is, we have it's a common theme. We get products to the end consumer. We're involved in product brokerage. We find products, we put volume on them, we help our people expand their share of consumer, and we expand distribution. It's a common theme, and that's where we're headed with it. The site's come a long way since you last seen it, or if you've never seen it, just trust me. And with that, I'm going to pass this off over to Jorgen.
So what we want to do is, first of all, set the tone. We're obviously with Conquer, we're pretty lax, and so holler at us. Just don't heckle. Hecklers will be removed. We've got a couple big guys on the Conquer team back here, so we'll get rid of them pretty fast. What I wanted to do is just kind of go back to social interaction and just talk about that for a minute, because that was one of the things that we felt was important as we built the Conquer platform. So if we jump back 100 years, Kirk and I had neighboring farms, right? And I'm out in the field working, and I hit him up, it's Thursday, and I say, hey, tomorrow night, Friday night, there's a honky tonk player down at the local 5 and Dime thing going on, right? Down at the saloon.
Say what?
Right? So Kirk comes with me the next night because of the very localized, very tight social interaction, because it was my recommendation to him and he came, right? A little while later, we jump into the big broadcast era where all the big corporations out there are sending us everything, but it's not a two-way communication, it's just one. They're telling us what's cool, they're telling us what we're going to buy, and that's how we did it for a while. Then the internet comes along, and the whole world jumps back to social again, right? We're not being broadcast stuff, it's now social, but it's now globally social. So peer-to-peer recommendation became critical. At this point in time, if you look at advertising, 97% of the people that actually purchase something go to peer-to-peer recommendation before they buy at this point in time. They may see the ad, but they don't buy unless they actually get somebody. So if I'm going to get the next generation, iPod or iPad or whatever it is, I'm going to go ask Jeremy, hey, how do you like that? Is that cool? And he may say, no, check this out.
I love it. It's awesome.
Right. So keeping that in mind, everything that we've built on Conquer, all the different songs, facets, images, and stuff like that, we felt it was really important for those to be able to be shared socially, as well as to be able to be rocked, which in Conquer is like a Facebook like, a thumbs up, so you can have a fan page where all this stuff is there. You can share your fan page out, and we'll get to that and show you a little bit about that. So social was one thing. The other thing is, in building this and kind of all the talks that we've had, if you think about the music industry, if you go back to, let's just take it not even too far back, let's go to CDs. If an artist went platinum, that means they sold 1 million CDs, right? 1 million CDs at $14 a piece would be $14 million. The record labels and everybody had the ability to cut out $1 to $2 depending on the artist's deal with the record label, and they would make upwards of $2 million off of a platinum album. That's some pretty good revenue for the artist on top of their touring and merch and everything else that they're doing. Then you go to digital downloads, which is the next step. And in the digital download era, that was pretty cool too, but they made now 50 to 70 cents. iTunes pays out about 70 cents a download, but by the time it's given back to the label and to everybody else that's in that chain, the artist ends up with less than 10 cents a download. So that started to eat into their earnings and stuff. Now streaming kicks on, and that's what we all do at this point, we stream music. So streaming, let's say that same artist has a song that's streamed 1 million times on Pandora. They make $1,300. That's a far cry from 2 million. So at this point in time, money no longer is a viable revenue, or music is no longer a viable revenue source for the artist. It's a lost leader bringing them into something else, which is an artist's lifestyle, their sponsorships, their endorsements, and all those different things that they make money off in addition to touring and merchandising. The challenge is most of the artists don't have any ability to do that. They don't have the ability to go out and get those endorsement deals. They don't have the ability to attach themselves to products. And that is probably, in my opinion, the singular thing that differentiates Conquer from every other platform out there is our relationship with Market America and our relationship with Shop.com and all the products. Because we are pushing lifestyle merchandising with an artist. So if you think about it in kind of that aspect, an average artist can have upwards of 25,000 fans on Facebook. Those are all potential customers of that artist. If we teach the artist how to then associate themselves with the products that they use in their daily lives, whether it's an MA branded product or whether it's one of our partner stores, Nike, whatever, maybe it's the guitar strings that they play their guitar with because somebody went to a concert and said, I really love the way that guitar sounds. How did they do that? Well, on Conquer, they can jump to that artist's Conquer site and they can see the products that artist actually uses. Purchase them. Now the artist has an additional revenue source because we've now attached products to the artist. So that's the number one thing with Conquer that we feel is different, and truly, none of the other platforms have the ability to do it. They can't even get to us because they have no relationship. And then to offer them the tracking, obviously we portalized it with the help of a lot of guys in this room. Now an artist, I had a conversation with one of our bigger artists that we just brought on today. They don't even understand our business model. But when I start, and I honestly don't even want them to jump into that right at the get-go. We want to get them there, but initially I just want them to understand that they have a new revenue stream and that they can build underneath them and that they can have money coming out to them. So that's one thing that makes us different. And then the second thing I think is probably our biggest asset is our certified artist developer network. And if I'm just being truthful, I think that's a little bit misleading because they're not really developing an artist. What they're doing is taking the brand of an artist and teaching the artist how to retail and monetize the brand with products. So there's been a lot of discussion around Conquer right now, how we address that and how we approach the music industry with it and say, maybe CAD is what we use here internally, but to an artist it's really lifestyle manager is what we're looking at. And obviously they have other income coming off an artist if they sign an artist up as a ULO with Conquer. So that's kind of the history between, socially what's going on in the music industry, and how we fit into that and what makes us different. And there's some things that we're going to show you today that are not even live yet towards the end of the presentation that we're heading to, that we're working on right now that are pretty exciting. So from there, I think we're going to turn it over. I'm going to run the computer. Kirk's going to give you guys a tour through the website.
Yes, I am. All right, I got a microphone.
Okay.
Thank you very much. The homepage of getconquer.com. It looks very fresh. It's refreshing. As you mentioned, I'm not going to ask that question again, but let's ask a better question. Who remembers My World or any other iterations of Conquer? Any hands? This is a newer situation than that, and you will see. Once you get to the site, like Jorgen made a great point, the average artist is 25,000 fans and that are potential customers. One of the things that's really cool about Conquer is right when you get to the gate right here and you want to listen to some free music, stream some music, you register, and you're actually registering as a PC for that artist. Right there. Just now, if you don't, you only get to listen to 2 minutes of each song, but if you do, you get 3 free streams of any song on the site. So right there, that's just awesome. So once you get there, we can click on the Explore tab, and artists are able to, obviously they upload their music, but their fans come through, and you can look through the site, and you can search through the charts, okay? That is the music player. This is Melion. He's a very smooth dude, by the way. The ladies need to watch out. I've witnessed this guy. He really knows how to drop it on him. Now, click right here for me, JM. See, you're able to search by the most played. See, this will display the top 1 through 10. And by the way, these are all updated daily. It calculates a total of the average of the past 7 days. And it's really cool for people coming to the site who want to see what's new, what's going on, So let's click back in there. New arrivals. It won't dump everything from an artist onto the site when they get there. It'll just take one song from a new artist. So, there's 10 new artists. We're not going to put 100 songs up. So it just puts one song from each new artist, and then top sellers. these are the most sales. These are the ones with the top sales in the past 7 days. The other one was the top streams. Streams and sales, obviously, as you just mentioned, aren't necessarily the same. So we have that all going on. So we have a number of different genres. It really covers everything. I get a lot of questions. Is Conquer only this? Is Conquer only that? Do they do jazz? Yes, yes, and yes. We do it all. I can't think of anything that we don't. Also, we can search for an artist alphabetically. And this last one right here is by location. All right, and there we go. See, we got Dwayne McLaughlin, a couple other folks right there. So there's also spots where people can learn more. Fans can kind of click and learn more about the cash back. There are the venues can apply that are interested. They see what we're doing. They're like, what's this? So it's really just bringing in interest. We bring in interest, and then everything is all really about conversions. I mean, we're here to move products to the end consumer and make sure people are happy. I mean, there's an exchange. People get to listen to music, and they find what they want. So let's go click on an artist's profile and check that out and see what that's all about. Fat Joe. There we go. I mean, folks probably know Fat Joe. He's a multi-platinum artist, and he's great. So when you get to an artist profile, obviously they're able to place their pictures up there. There's a bio that they can always click in and read more about. We try to keep everything kind of condensed and really easy on the eyes. Here's a video that he did with Jennifer Lopez recently. Did anybody see that? That's awesome. It had some really cool stuff going in between it as well. There wasn't too many head shaking, but you should check out halfway through the video the way they plug motives. It was awesome. All right, here is the music.
We'll get into the music tab in a second.
All right, we'll get in there.
Basically, the homepage is just a snapshot of everything that the artist has on the site. It's a taste of every little piece of what they have. It's a snapshot of everything they have on the site. It's a kind of a taste of like everything that the artist puts up there.
Right. So, and here's the magic right here. This is actually the artist trend shop. This is where an artist is able to connect with Conquer Entertainment and shop.com, pick something that I don't know how else they would have generated this relationship, and potentially monetize their brand by getting to attach product to them. Everyone knows Fat Joe loves Nike Air Jordans and whatnot. As a guitarist, I mean, you've got a particular pedal, or like you said, your strings, or whatever it is. People always want to connect. So it's great that they're able to do so. They're also able to create their own products and place them on there, and we're able to slap BV on that as well. And that's something that we're going to get to in just a moment. We've got it hooked into major social media outlets: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram can go there as well. And I guess we already went through the music video, so we can take it back up top. It's right there. So let's go to the timeline. I'm really happy about the way that this came out, and I've never seen anything like it before. I mean, you can have a timeline on Facebook, but with ours, it's more granular, and you're able to actually search through and see more of what you want, and we'll demonstrate that in just a moment. See,
everything that an artist does on their page, everything that they do in their admin area, if they add a song or if they add an image or whatever it is, an event, a blog, it doesn't matter. Chronologically, that shows up in their timeline so that they can come here and people can see exactly what their footprint has been over the last little while on their page. But you can also sort by, like, for example, if you hit posts, it'll adjust and filter that for you. If you hit videos, yeah, their videos will adjust, events, albums, songs, and products. Okay, and I'll pull up another browser here in just a second. We'll go through and show you how this opens up a tray. If you click on something specific, and you'll see the share button, you're able to share it out to any of your social media channels from just about any item or page on Conquer. So just jump into the bio real quick. Pretty straightforward. Again, bio, obviously trends, that's what makes us different. We push that every place that we possibly can. You get into the albums, it's got a similar feel to iTunes, so you can click on the albums, move back and forth. This little plus button down here, if I hit that, it adds it to my playlist up in my player. And if I hit the play button, it starts to play it. If I hit share, it'll share the song out, And obviously if I hit the cart, it drops it into the cart for digital download from there. So he doesn't have any events up right now. So we'll hit his shop tab and you can see the different products that he's got. Again, we're pushing the products so that you're in his trend shop, as we call it. Let's look at, and then for events, we'll go up here to another band. We just brought on Little Texas to the platform about a week ago. We'll tell you a little bit about them, but let's go to their events. So in events, you can see everything up and coming, and there's a couple of different views for you. You can see the upcoming, you can see the last 6 months, the last 2 years, or everything. We'll just hit show all. As you go through, you can see on the upcoming events, they can actually, there's a ticket link, there's a remind me. If you click on that, you enter your email in and they'll send you out a reminder a few days before the concert so you don't forget about it or the event. And then an RSVP. If you hit the RSVP button in the artist's admin area or back office, they have a list of all the people and the email addresses that are RSVP into their show. So that's kind of fun for them to be able to do. And of course, you can, again, share these different events out. We've got a calendar view built. And then we have the map view. You recognize kind of that the look and feel integrated with Google Maps. If you click on an event, it pops open. So
Very cool.
Yeah. Back to the homepage. One of the interesting things as we start to talk a little bit about our lifestyle merchandising, like with Little Texas. It's been a long time since I've had a microphone. These guys, if you look at the history of this particular band, this is one way that they're using shop.com and the relationship. They started out in 1991. First album went gold. Second album went double platinum. And the third album went platinum. Then they had 2 more follow-ups that were like in the gold area. But about 1997, the band broke up. Lead singer left. The keyboardist left. They thought they could do better on their own. They went out. It was an epic fail for them. They completely lost their careers. So the 4 remaining core members of the band stayed together and continued to tour. They left Warner Brothers. They went to Montage Records. But when that all took place, all those monster hits they had, all those big #1 hits and top 40 hits, all the publishing rights and all the copyright was spread all over the place. They didn't have rights to it anymore. They couldn't market it anymore. There's nothing they could do with it. So that was frustrating because they put the work in. So what we did is we went through, let's see. We found all those past albums on shop.com. So we went through, linked them up to their trend shop, and now these guys can legally and officially market and sell those past albums without getting in any trouble because shop is offering it through FYE or one of our other affiliate stores. So they were really excited about that. That made them super happy. Here, I'm gonna look at, I'll navigate through like some of the other ways. One of the things that we got asked last time was how the artists are actually using the different divisions of the company to integrate that lifestyle merchandising. So we're going to show you a couple of examples of how that's taking place.
Is anybody hot in here?
Oh, yeah.
We pop the door open. I can fan you guys, but, just let me know.
Sorry you can't hear that. We should have other speakers in here, but just listen close.
Thanks for checking out my tutorial today. Really quick, I've got a trend that's trending now on shop.com called Hint of Mint. That's where I got this eye look for you. That's where I got this shirt. Go shopping. You might love what you see and put it in your repertoire of clothes. It's wonderful. Also, I hope you enjoy the music you hear in the background of the tutorial today. It's me. I wrote the song, I'm singing it, and I'm fiddling it. If you like it, download it. It's $1. Put it on your iPad, take it to the gym, take it to a dance, show your friends, you're gonna love it. I hope you love this. Write me, I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. I ain't never been one for sweet talks and long walks. All them fancy flowers ain't my thing. Babe, you came along and you captured my life. I am gonna go ahead and contour my face because I have a gig tonight here in Nashville. And so this is a compact, it's a Color Perfection quad from Motives. And I'm going to go ahead and contour my face very quickly, and then I will add some of my custom-made foundation, and then we'll get started on the eyes.
Anyway, you get the idea, right? She's integrating motives with Conquer and some of the other product lines. So that's one example of it. Another example that has been really successful just recently, Janine is probably one of our most successful artists. She's got a great cat, and that's one of the things that we're noticing too with the company. If they've got a developer or distributor if they've got a developer, a certified artist developer or distributor that's very much involved with them, we're seeing their success ratios really jump because, again, their job is to help them understand how to market themselves and market their brand and their lifestyle. So Janine, actually, we've got a great story on the Conquer blog with her about how she went about doing that. She did a concert series where she bakes a lot. She was actually featured on one of the food channels. And so she integrated that into a home concert, and they came up with a thing called Uniquely You. And so they would go, she'd bake, she'd do stuff, and then they'd move from house to house. People would invite friends. She'd put on an acoustic concert, and they'd sell product through this process. And by doing that, between she, her CADs, and their team, they've been able to generate some pretty nice commission checks for her. So not just the retail profit, not just the cash back, but she's actually getting BV checks. We're upping, I feel like we're really upping the quality of the artists right now that we're seeing on Conquer, and we'll talk about maybe even bringing in some of the major label content here in just a minute. But this is Maggie Bosch. She's 16.
Where are you from, darling? Come here. Come here. You can come up here. Where are you from?
Boca Raton, Florida.
Boca Raton. How long have you been playing?
8 years.
Been playing 8 years? You ready to play with me? Okay. You ready? You know Devil went down to Georgia?
Just an example of us using some of Maggie's footage, and I just found out yesterday that they placed about, MA products. I think her parents, who are now distributors, bought somewhere in the realm of like $450 worth of product for her to rep out on the road with her tour. So again, we're starting to really see the artists get it. They're starting to adopt the products, and they're starting to work with them. One of the other things that we're way excited about is our integration and our work a lot closer with Meet On, because that's proving to be a huge medium for the artists. We did something here 2 weeks ago. We called Dave last minute. We're like, hey, we just got this awesome opportunity. He's coming through North Carolina. Let's throw something together and let's throw him up there and see if we can promote it. And it turned out to be a really good big hit for us. Walter released a video that was a music video that was exclusively promoted by Conquer about 3-4 days before he got here. So we just kind of we went downstairs and you see the product placement down here in the right-hand corner. And actually, Walter uses a lot of this stuff when he's out. One of the things that we're teaching him how to do is actually take, like, for example, Awake or Isotonics, and they're putting their own labels on them. They're like putting stickers on them and driving them back to their websites. So this is great because, I'm just impressed, again, with another division of our company, which being Meet On. We've used a lot of different streaming technology, but rarely do we get such a great picture and an HD broadcast. And this is an actual copy of that broadcast. So it turned out really, really good. Those are just some of the examples that we're just seeing, recently and lately with some of the artists that we're working with. So, yeah, Mark McKinney is again, working with his certified artist developers. He's another one of our artists that's been able to get commission checks through the process. And he is releasing a brand new music video out of Texas. He's got about 4 or 5 #1 hits in Texas. And Monday night, he's going to do a broadcast on Meet On, and he's going to preview his new video. Before anybody else sees it, he's going to release it there. So he's inviting his entire fan base to Meet On, which we love because, again, we capture email addresses, get it in there, and we turn around and we start to market the lifestyle back out to the fans. So the whole process, the whole idea when you think of Conquer is just remember, we're trying to figure out the quickest, easiest, most streamlined way to take a fan base and move them from a fan to a consumer. So.
Feels like it.
All right. Yeah, let's do that real quick.
I should have them plug out.
We should what?
Have them plug out.
Oh yeah, actually, and that's one of the things that I was going to get to after we finish this. But we just got approved for a $3.99 Fast Start kit, a Conquer Fast Start kit, which we got rave feedback on because they love the blended products in it because it's not so specific in one industry. Because as an artist, you use stuff from all over the place. So we really feel like that's going to be a very popular Fast Start kit. We also got what we call an Artist Essential Startup. So an artist, it's $15 a month for Conquer, but if they pay $100 for the first 6 months, we give them basically $180 worth of product, which includes Aloe, Awake, Daily Essentials. So again, we want to make sure that there's no disconnect between product and artist with what we're doing. So we've also got a 90-day kit that gives them, I think, is it just Awake on that one? Yeah. Awake is proving to be yeah.
We need to stay awake.
So in the admin area, just really quickly, this is where you'll see them be able to go in and update, bio, influences, their social media networks. We're encouraging the artist as much as possible to give us as much information on their style, their genre, their melody, those types of things, because in our discovery engine and the streaming platform that we're working on, that's going to prove to be really important to us so that we can recommend back and forth. Music, and we'll go quickly through this. Again, you can add songs. The songs over here, you can publish them or unpublish them. You can add albums, as many albums, it's unlimited. Once you get the album there, you can assign a song to that album just simply by dragging it to the album. Merchandise. Let's just say basically this query shop, if they find something that they like or that they use, they hit the plus button, it comes over here, and now it's in their trend shop on their website. It's basically that fast and that easy. And we had a lot of requests for artists to be able to do their own personal design branded merchandise. So one of the things that our tech team with Tim kind of leading the way on this has been working on has been able to take an artist, customize, their product or their t-shirt or whatever it is, pay for it, have that sent to a production house that we now have a third-party API with. The production house produces it, sends it back to us, and it becomes a product in shop with BV attached to it and all the other good stuff. That was a really big thing for us to be able to do. So now the artist could come in here, choose their artwork or their text or an image or whatever, place it on the shirt. They can do it on the different zones of the shirt and put in the quantities they want, hit submit. We get the order, Kirk calls them, they pay for it, we set the pricing with them, and as soon as it's live inside the fulfillment house, we get the product codes back and it goes on shop. It becomes a live product for them to share out.
That's awesome.
Events, pretty straightforward. Put in the event name, start date, image, all that good stuff. This was something that was really important to us too, because this is, if you'll recognize this, first name, last name, and email, this is the easy customer registration process. So the artists don't want to lose their fans to somebody else on shop, right? So they'll go in and they'll put them in here, and as soon as they do this, it automatically kicks out an email and registers them as an easy customer. It does, and it's a custom email that says, hey man, glad you loved our music and so excited, why don't you come visit my Conquer site? They don't know that they've been registered already, but So the artist site, CAD page, if they're a CAD, you can edit CAD pages. Fat Joe is actually a CAD, so he actually gets a page as a CAD. He hasn't set his up yet. He's a little bit busy, maybe. I'm going to show you too a fan page. As a fan, anybody can be a fan.
That includes you all.
Let's see if I can do this real quick.
There's a link to the PC accounts that you log in with the same thing you log in on Shop.
Yes. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to my fan page. And as a fan, now I've cruised around the site and I've liked certain things. Like this stuff over here is all stuff I've liked from somewhere on the site. And based on this, we recommend items to them that they might find similar, they might have some similar taste with. So let's close that out. And you'll see the different things that I've liked on Conquer. And again, I have a timeline just like the artist does. So here's all the different things that I've gone through Conquer and liked so far. And again, the trays open up, product detail comes out, and they can share this out to all their friends, and they can share their fan page as well. So.
You did say BB, not IBB attached to those products, so they sell them themselves, correct?
Yes, those are BB products because we're considering those internal branded products. Sorry. Yeah, thanks.
I just wanted to make sure everybody else heard it.
Yeah, right.
Never doing IBB on this, but I think it's a huge benefit to Conquer that merchandising their own stuff, they can actually drive BB through an organization. Their own hats, their own t-shirts, not just a label.
Well, you know, and it comes back to the other thing that we had the question on was, well, I've already got 1,000 t-shirts that I pre-printed. I don't want to do more. And we said, that's awesome. Keep whatever you want to take out on the road with you and then ship the rest to the fulfillment house. And even though they didn't produce them, they'll still check them into inventory for you. They'll still send us the product codes and we'll still make them live for you. So we know the key to us is just making sure that we actually have it physically in the warehouse and we know that we can make that a live product for them. So we can work with them on existing merchandise too, which was a really big thing for us. So, yeah.
And one of the things that we'd like you all to do is to really familiarize yourself at least a little bit. Look at the top 10. Check it out because this might be one of those things that catches you on the way out. But as we mentioned, that feeds directly from Shop. What he just showed that pulls products out. So that means artists can be attached to any product from any division, as you've seen. So whatever division that may be that you're in, if you're looking for if you think of any creative ways or would like to discuss any creative ways to kind of give that a boost, whether it be maybe some place on a step and repeat, a product placement, or maybe a commercial or what, I mean, we're willing to be flexible and make some stuff happen because we got everyone and they're ready to move.
So one of the things too that we're working on right now is becoming a distribution outlet for some of the bigger distribution houses. For example, and what I mean by that is you saw Little Texas on here, and I'll show you their personal website in just a minute, which is actually a Conquer powered website. It does have other outlets on it because they're with a record label. And their record label has distribution through companies like, for example, Orchard Distribution. Orchard is not respective of anybody. The record label contracts with them to get the artist music out there. So they'll send it to Amazon, iTunes, everywhere. And what we're doing right now is working on becoming licensed for distribution through Orchard, which means that we no longer, an artist doesn't have to say, well, I can't work with you guys because I'm with a label. So they can come to us and we'll still be able to distribute in accordance with, the label licensing and all the other stuff that's there. But one of the things that we loved about this was, let's see. We're finding ways to integrate product with the artist. So this site was actually something that was facilitated by Conquer. And if you go through, it's linked up. It's got all their stuff. You love this. Their new album release is April 14th, and we got the exclusive broadcast rights for this online that same night. They're going to do an acoustic concert on Meet On, where they're going to send it out to their entire fan base, and we're going to send it out through all of our channels as well. But if you come back here, they've got all the different blog, bio, tour, all this good stuff. But if you come to their store, and we just started working with these guys on this, come on, internet. You'll see products that these guys are endorsing or that they're being sponsored by, and they normally would not be able, if they sold an Ampeg SVT4 Pro Series bass head, Dwayne, the bass player for Little Texas, is not going to get paid for that. But if he sends them here because he's endorsing it here through what we're doing, he does. He gets paid for every product that sells off the site, obviously. And this is all, again, linked back over to their shop.com site. So that was kind of a fun one for us because these guys and when they came to us, and these guys have been in it for 26 years, so they understand the music industry. And without us coaching them or without anything else going on, they came to us and they said, we have to find a new revenue source. We have to find a new way to monetize all of our fans' listening habits. And when we brought this to them, they got really excited. What was even more fun was they went back to the head of their record label a few days later, showed them what we'd done, came back to us, and now we're looking at 160 artists off that record label that all want to be a part of Conquer because of their ability to associate with product. And we're not talking small artists. We're talking like B.B. King, Quiet Riot, some of the big acts from the, a little bit older acts maybe, but still, it was kind of exciting for us. So, we did. Talk offline. I'll show you what we did with it. Obviously, Web Centers is something that we want to integrate with this, but we need to make sure that we've got the mailing list capabilities and all that built into it. And that's our next step, which I talked to you about a little while ago. So, anyway, there you go. That's kind of the basics of Conquer and where we're at. Oh, we wanted to show you a few things. One of the things that we've been working on recently is making the site. Right now, it's challenging because we only have about 1,000 artists. So we want to make the site what we call sticky, meaning we want people to be able to come back and find new content and do stuff on Conquer. So we're currently working with a company called MediaNet, which has the largest library of music online. They've got 37 million songs. And they supply companies like Beats and Rhapsody and some of those guys with some of their content. What we are working to do, we had a license with them before with Meet-On, but we found a different way to kind of integrate it here. Imagine if you could go in and you could take every single one of those 37 million songs or those millions of artists and have them have a Conquer page, which is going to automatically happen because of the API structure that we're set up with. So that feed will come into us, we'll populate the pages, and you'll be able to stream it just like Pandora. So Conquer will actually compete head-to-head with Pandora as far as content is concerned. But then one caveat to that is we also offer the ability, if you like what you're hearing on the stream, you can actually click and digitally download that specific song and keep it for later. We haven't taken the step to actually jump to where we're a true on-demand platform like Spotify, but we're definitely a step beyond where Pandora is at with what we're doing. And then also the other thing is all those major label content artists would have a trend shop. And it's not going to be, endorsed by them, but it's going to be in the style of. So let's say Taylor Swift, right? We're going to have the ability to link products over to Taylor Swift and move those back over to shop and sell them from there off major artists, which is really exciting to us. And then the next thing we're working on is a mobile platform or a mobile app. So I've been reaching out to some of the IT guys and kind of working with Kevin and Steve a little bit on this. And Tim has been kind of spearheading some of our initial mock-ups and drawings, but we'll just kind of browse through and just give you a view. This was where we started working on the lifestyle, again, pushing it. One of the things that we're researching right now is the ability to scrub all the social media networks with hashtags attached to pictures. And those then get brought back into a repository with us where we can take what's in that picture with that hashtag, and maybe what we do is we search Fat Joe and hashtag Nike, right? And we get pictures back that have both those things in common. And then we take that picture and we create tags off the things that are inside that picture, linking again back to product on shop, so that when a fan comes in, they can search an artist, they find the artist, they look at his different lifestyles, and if they click off it, they end up going back over. The challenge has been we can't get the artist to do all this work because it's a ton of work. So we're looking at a way to automate that or streamline it so that the artist doesn't have to, right? If it comes in here and it's Fat Joe, you just click on it and you go. And Fat Joe didn't even do anything with it. He's just going to get credit for it. So that's kind of one of the things that we're working on right now. So I think that's it. Do we miss anything? Oh, I'm gonna let you do that.
Okay. In the coming future, I would anticipate, I want to say hopefully before international convention, our music will be available internationally. So that means that all U.S.-based artists that have their music on the site, their music will be available to people anywhere, and that'll really blow things up because it's like there's a lot of people out there. You never know where your biggest fans are. Now, as for the phase 2 of our international expansion will be the actual ULO program, which is artists coming to the site to upload their music and utilize our system, being able to do that from other places. And that's the move with the international expansion. So I think we nailed it.
Any questions, guys? I mean, one of the things we'd love to see you do is just go to Conquer and sign up for a free account. You know what I mean? Just hop on there and start streaming some music. I mean, that's really what we'd ask for everybody here to do. And then the other thing would be is we really, as an artist, we reach TLS, Motives. I mean, literally every division of the company, we kind of are a central ground or a neutral ground, I guess you could say, because we can leverage each one of the different things in different ways. So if you can come up with ideas, bring it to us, because we're looking right now on how to expand into all the different areas and kind of create those relationships. So, really? No questions? We're good.